Anyway, you guys.
There are, boys. Thank you very much for both joining the Gunman Insta Live. I was just saying to the people before you guys jumped on that this is an exciting matchup, a huge fight that is going to be going down on the 20th of July in Sittingbourne in Kent. It is a clash of the heavyweights. This is down to my left. This is Kai Forder. It is his final dance at unlicensed boxing. He's long, he's rangy, he's a sharpshooter. He often tattoos his opponents and uses them as target practice. He is a mountain of a man, and he is one of the biggest punchers on the circuit. He is fighting Dan Lonergan, who is the fighting Irish, the Celtic killer. He is looking to defuse the Kai Forder train. 5 fights, 4 KOs. This is going to be a hell of a matchup. Let's start with you, Forder. So this is your last fight. What can the fans expect from you?
The same thing they always expect, the Kai Forder show.
Are we going to see a knockout?
I don't need to worry about the knockout. Every fight I've had, I've never looked for a knockout. It's always just ended up in a W. I don't need to look for a knockout. If the knockout comes, it comes. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to go in there and do my thing that I've done for the last 10 fights that I've had. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you go in there looking for a knockout, that's when you make mistakes.
Yeah. Fair enough. Do you feel because it's your last fight, it's your home show, there's pressure to shut this man down so that he has to be rebooted by Undisputed Boxing? Do you need a knockout? Do you need an impressive performance?
Not really. I think every time I have a fight, I put pressure on myself because of how much I post on social media. So, and I've been main event at 5-6 shows already. I've boxed at the O2 on the DKM card that no one knew who I was. Like I've had that pressure before. I don't really go under pressure anymore when I'm fighting. As long as I have a W, then the job's done. Whether that's a knockout, whether that's a points win, whether it's a split, the job gets done. The job gets done. I don't need to be worried. I don't need to be overthinking. I've done this for the last 7 years now, so there's no point changing my mindset or how I need to think about it at all.
Mr. Lonergan, you are an unknown quantity in this fight, but I know about you. 5 fights, 4 KOs. You're a dangerous puncher. You're aggressive, and you don't look to go to the points. Listen, you're going into his backyard, and to many, you're going to be the underdog. Do you see it the same way? That you're going to need a knockout to get the win?
No, I'm not going to look for the knockout. I'm prepared to go all the rounds. The good thing about me is I like to dig deep. So if he wants to meet me in the trenches, that's where I'll be. I'm happy to take it all the way to decision. I'm good. If the knockout comes, as he knows, fantastic. But we're just going to play smart.
Do you think, though, but being the away fighter, this can't go to the scorecards? There's most likely going to be Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles on the reffing panel. Surely you have to get the stoppage to get the win, right?
I'm gonna cut them some slack. I'm just gonna do my thing, and hopefully, I think I'll do enough to convince everyone. Like, I think I'll be all right.
Listen, I can tell you this for one thing: our shows are never like that. I've had boys in my gym that have been with us for 5 or 6 years, and they've ended up losing their belts, and the away fight has gone on with a belt. I think I'm one of 3 people out of 7 that are still part of the Rumbles gym that still have the belts. So there's no Stevie Wonders or 3 blind men saying that for a fact.
Hey, listen, it's a tough ask being the away fighter, though. In any show, let's be honest, this is boxing, and if it's close, the home fighter will get the nod. We know that. Evidence suggests that over history, over time. One thing I must ask you, Lonergan, has he made a big mistake in picking you for this fight?
No, I just feel like the pressure's on Kai. Unfortunately, like he's got to step up. It's his home crowd. He's got the title on the line. The pressure's off me. I'm just gonna go have fun. I'm just there to have fun. So I'm just gonna enjoy it. The pressure's on him, unfortunately. And you know what? Fair play to him. If he can overcome that, fantastic. But yeah, I'm not like his other opponents. We'll just put it that way. I'm not gonna go sleep.
What have you seen of him? What have you seen of Forder?
I'm gonna say I've seen enough, but I guess I've over prepared for this one. It's been a short camp. I've only had 6 weeks, but yeah, I think I've seen enough.
Do you rate this brother?
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, to be honest with you, like every time anyone steps in the ring, you got to respect that. You know, he's on a journey. I respect that. I'm here to make his life difficult. But yeah, I respect him. I rate him. I like what he does outside of boxing. I appreciate the mental health
Thank
stuff.
you.
The podcast is all cool shit. Yeah, no, it's all good, bro. Like, I respect it. But obviously, when it comes to Saturday night, I got a job to do.
Do you watch his podcast?
I've checked it out. Yeah, I've checked it out.
There you go. Look, you got a fan,
Wow.
Border.
I wouldn't say, yeah.
Listen, Kai, a lot of people are, fight fans, critical fight fans will say your head's been turned in the last few months. Are you training hard for this fight?
What was that? My head's been turned.
Yeah, I would say the critics would say about you that your head's been turned. You've got a podcast, which Lonergan's just mentioned. You've got a podcast. You were looking to box unlicensed. You went to go to Portugal. Those plans were abandoned. You came back to unlicensed. You've talked about going amateur. You've talked about going pro. You're back to unlicensed. You've got the podcast. You was offered the Beeman fight. So, outside looking in, it looks like your head has been turned and you've been distracted. Has the training been on point? Are you training hard? Are you taking boxing seriously?
But man, listen, I always take boxing seriously. My head wouldn't have changed, and I'd still be fighting unlicensed in DKM if the big boys with the belts actually stepped up and had a fight with me. But they didn't do
That's
that.
true.
So
Yeah, I can vouch for
I'm a
that.
belt holder right now, and the difference between me and other people is that I put my belt on the line. I'd quite happily not go amateur. I sell tickets. I've got sponsors that professional boxers haven't got. Like I sell myself well. So, but unfortunately, if I'm fighting on shows like DKM and the big boys aren't putting their titles on the line and they're not having a pair of bollocks to fight me because they'd rather just go around fighting bums all the time, I have no choice but to turn my head into other directions.
Why did you not fight Bad Boy Beeman when you was offered that fight? Can you clear that up?
Because when I told my coach again that I was going back on a DKM show, he was like, "Nah, I don't support it. I want you to go amateur. I want you to do one last show on my show in the summer because it's in front of my home crowd. I've been doing it for 7 years. Why would I not finish off where I've started off for 7 years?" And another thing as well, with the boxing club, the amount of clout they've given me, the amount of attention they've given over me the last 7 years, all my ticket money is going towards funding new stuff for the boys in the boxing gym and the kids and things like that. So it felt right. If I'm going to finish this unlicensed thing, then the best thing to do is to finish off where I started. And I'm not going to lie. If you asked me this question probably about a year ago, I was ranting and raving about all this misfits thing and all that sort of boxing. I think it's fallen off. I think it's fallen off massively. I think once KSI is done with it all after the summer, I think misfits is a no-go and the influencer stuff's done. And that's the only direction that them DKM boys are going in. So if I want to carry on boxing and do something myself with boxing, then amateur's the only route. But it's not training. If anything, I can't lie, I'm quite happy with this camp because finally I've had decent sparring partners. I've had Ruben Hobbs, who's a very, very talented boxer, and just sharing them round.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot.
Exactly.
I like
And
him a lot.
sharing Ruben Hobbs, then there's no reason for me to be nervous or anything come Saturday night.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, so I was going to say then. So when you was boxing unlicensed, and then you went to go off to this Portugal tournament, obviously your coach has said to you to come amateur. So why did you come back then?
What for this show?
No, why did you come back from the Portugal trip? And then you decided not to go down that route. Obviously, your coach has said
So
do the Portugal tournament.
Portugal didn't.
Why were you back?
Portugal didn't
Looking
happen.
to go back into the
Our club never went to Portugal. It never happened. So
right.
obviously my coach said that if you do turn amateur, then there's nothing there until September, October time. But I know mentally, with my mental health and what I've been through in the past, if I've got nothing to train for and fight for, then my whole head just goes away from boxing and I turn to go into partying and things like that. Like I need something to focus on. So I'm not going to stop now from April until September and not have a fight. So I might as well finish off where I started on our shows, defend my belt one more time in front of my hometown crowd. Because the last 2 fights I've had, it's been at the O2 Arena. Unfortunately, with like cost of living crisis and things like that, kids and boys my age, they can't afford to pay the travel to go up to the O2. They can't afford to be paying £50, £60 a ticket, drinks, food, and then come and travel back. So fighting back in my hometown gives people the chance that haven't seen me fight for the last year and a half, 2 years, and then it's 5 minutes round the corner from their house. So that's the reason.
Dan. Yes, sir.
Is his brother overlooking you? He's talking about, he's talking about amateurs. He's talked about influencer boxing. He's touched on it. He's talked about his podcast. Is he overlooking you? Is he thinking that, I'm going to just knock him out and sail off into the sunset?
I mean, he never mentioned the knockout, but I mean, look, I don't think he's overlooking me. He knows he's got a job on Saturday. Maybe it sounds like he's looking too far into the future. We gotta get it done on the weekend first, but nah, I wouldn't say so.
Bro,
I know you just...
Either way, whatever happens on Saturday, it's not going to damage me. Like, I'm still going to be doing my podcast. I'm still going to be elevating how I'm elevating, and I'm going amateur anyway. And I'm not overlooking you at all. But
No, I know.
This fight on
Dan,
Saturday, it's not going to change anything for me. Like, I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing anyway, so it makes no difference.
Lonergan, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Where have you been training? Where have you come from, and how are you here?
Yeah, I took a bit of a extended gap from boxing, but I came back and I was in West London Boxing Academy. Been doing a bit of training in Worthing as well, in Peak Boxing and South Coast Gym. Essentially, it's as simple as that. I came back, I got the hunger again. A good friend who you all know, he pointed me in the direction of this fight, said there's a heavyweight opportunity, and I said, hey man, I'm crazy enough, let's go for it.
Yeah. So what made you want to target Forder?
I didn't really care who it was, man. I just wanted to fight.
Yeah.
It's not about Kai. It's not personal. I didn't really give a shit. I just wanted to get back in the ring and have some fun.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Listen, your record is 5-4. 5 fights, 4 knockouts. You've been tucking brothers in like they've just had bath time. Like, you're putting these guys to sleep. Are you born with that power, or is that something that you've learned?
Nah, I think I was born with it. I'm a big man. I'm a very strong man. It's natural power. Of course, you can train it to a degree, but it's there. It's there if I need it.
But listen, man, that also depends who he's fought as well.
Absolutely.
Like,
who have you fought?
At the end of the day, you could be knocking out brothers every week, but if they're journeymen,
you can't train yourself to not get knocked out. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Anyone can get knocked out.
Especially with the size of you two boys. It's a one-punch game, With the lighter weights, you've got to pet people to death. But with you guys, one punch can change it. Who have you been sparring with? So you've been down West London Boxing Academy. Both myself and Kai have been there ourselves. So who have you been sparring with? Can you name a few names? Who's been trying to help you get ready?
I've just been messing around with all the boys. We just been one by one. We've just been going at it. Like, it don't matter about names, but I've been sparring hard. I've been training really hard. All shapes, all sizes. The good thing is, to be fair, as Kai will know, it's not very often you get to fight a man of your size, your stature. You know what I mean? So it's good to not have to be punching down for once. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Your 5 fights have been white collar fights, right?
Yeah.
Or have you boxed amateur?
Yeah.
All white collar.
Yeah.
All white collar. Okay. Okay, that's understandable. Okay, yeah, that makes absolute sense. So, how do you feel about going away into this man's backyard? The crowd's going to be all Forder. It's going to be Team Forder down there. It's going to be hostile. From what I understand, I've not been to the venue, but it's going to be on top of you.
Yeah.
It seems very close to the ring. The fans, they're going to be around you. Like you said, you've got no pressure, but are you going to be able to deal with Team Forder basically heckling you and getting onto you? You're never going to have experienced anything like it.
No. I'm totally cool with that. That's how I like it. It's absolutely fine. As I said, the pressure's off me. I'm just coming to provide an upset and have some fun. I don't need to be having people cheer my name. I'm just going to go and enjoy myself. I mean, unfortunately for Kai, he's got expectations. He's got people he needs to make happy. I'm just going to go there and make myself happy.
Order. If this man fills you in like a job application in front of all of your fans, are you going to have to come off of social media for the foreseeable?
No, bro. I've had hate my whole life. I've had haters trying to pull down my elevation my whole life. Like, not this isn't going to change nothing. It's not nothing to fight. Because guess what? Half the people in my comments or half the people in Dan's comments or messages, none of them have got the bollocks to get in the ring anyway. So people can say what they want. These people in the comments now, I'm not even reading them because probably none of them have ever put boxing gloves on in their life. So I mean, like, it means nothing to me, bro. You know what? I'm just glad that someone's accepted the fight and is still pulling through with it because I've had 3 pullouts.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's man enough to come in the ring, and yeah, the crowd is going to be against him because it's in my backyard, it's my show, it's my coach's show. But that makes me respect him even more. But no matter what happens on Saturday, no one on this earth will ever take down my elevation or take down what I'm doing with my life or make me come off social media because they're so irrelevant, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dan feels the same, but as long as you're not my
don't do social media.
exactly.
You don't do social media.
I don't
Even
do it,
just
man. I
finding
don't
the
waste my
video of this
time.
brother, like
Yeah.
honestly, just to get hold of this guy, I had to chase him like Tom chases Jerry. Like literally, this guy, like he's a hard man to pin down. Forder, what have you
Nah,
seen of this guy? Even the gunman can't sniper him. What have you seen of him, and what do you know about him?
I've seen nothing. I don't need to see anything. So at the end of the day, it's down to me. I'll find out what he's about within the first 30 seconds of round 1. I'll find out more about him as the rounds go on. That's all I need to know. There's no good over preparing yourself for what's in front of you because at the end of the day, once you get hit, it's a completely different story. I know nothing about him. I've not watched one fight. I don't know if he's a southpaw. I don't know if he's an orthodox. I'm just going to deal with what's in front of me as soon as that bell goes, and that's it.
Listen, I want to say a massive respect to you, Mr. Forder, because I must say, you did mention about hate, and you've had, criticism, and you've had in the past, some of the social media stuff which we won't go into. It's been really, social media hasn't been great for you. Like people copying your identity and some crazy shit. Without going deep into it,
Yeah,
social media hasn't been great for you, but you still, time and time again, you do not hide. You do not, you walk with your chin up. And I have massive respect for, your response earlier that, listen, if win, lose or draw, I ain't going nowhere. And that's a lovely concept. I think any fight fan can respect that. So, big up to yourself, brother. Big up to yourself.
thank you.
Mr. Lonergan, we've said Forders you're going to be in his backyard. Is he the hardest fight you've had yet?
I can't say, man. I haven't been in the ring with him yet. But we'll find out. As I
Are
said,
you anticipating him to be the toughest opponent you've ever faced?
I mean, a healthy mindset is to anticipate that for every fight, right? Like, you're only, like, that's it. He's the guy I'm fighting on Saturday. I'm putting all my focus into that. I don't know. Well, ask me again after the fight. I'll tell you how it went.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's just say that. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, that is absolutely fair enough. Yeah, no, listen, listen, I've got respect for you both. Mr. Mr. Lonergan, can
Yeah.
you give me a prediction?
Uh,
I need a
listen,
round and I need a
yeah,
goddamn time.
time and rounds. All right. As I said, I'm ready to go the distance. You can meet me in the trenches because I love it there. I love it there. I'll go all 5 rounds, 100%. Um, but yeah, if I can get an early stop, it's great.
So what
If
are you saying?
if it's there, I'll take it. If it's there, I'll take it. If it's there, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr.
I'll take it.
Forder, Mr. Forder, it's your home show. If you could have it your own way, would you knock this man clean out in 20 seconds, or would you prefer to have a punch perfect masterclass for the distance?
People have spent their money to come watch me, so I hope I don't knock him out in 20 seconds. I hope I don't, because guess what? That means I've robbed my fans. That means I've robbed my family. That means I've robbed my family friends. I don't want that. I said to my boxing coach after that last DKM show, Bill, find me an opponent, but I want to make sure that I'm going to that venue with a possibility of making sure that I'm going home without my belt. I don't want to.
Yeah, you need that challenge.
I don't want to turn up to a venue knowing I'm going to punch around the fridge for 5 rounds. I don't need that. I want to be game. I need someone to come take this belt off me. I need someone to give me a good fight and give my fans a decent fight, because God bless his soul, rest in peace to him, Jasper. It was a very good fight at the O2 back in October. And that was a good fight. But the fight after that I had in that February show, it was embarrassing. And I can't be doing that again. So I don't want to knock this guy out in 20 seconds. I want to have a decent boxing fight with this fella and give people a main event that people have paid their money to come see.
Yeah, no, that's lovely to hear. It's really refreshing to hear that, Mr. Forder, because like you've had a couple of easy wins, and it's great to see that you're looking to test yourself, and influencer boxing, I know you've stepped away from it, but being honest, sometimes the levels isn't that of the boxes. I go to some shows like Fight Zoomy and Quest, and there's absolute savages on those shows, like savages, like fighters, and so I understand, like, now you're taking on a fighter here. This guy, he isn't on social media. He doesn't give two hoots how many followers or likes he's got. He's a fighter. He's coming to knock you out in your backyard. I can guarantee you that. And it's a really interesting fight. And it's great that you've taken this fight on front of your people. And I'm gonna be there on Saturday, and I for one can't wait to see it all unfold. Do you have a final message for this brother, Forder? Do you want to put him to sleep before you put him to sleep?
A final message.
Yeah, what do you want to say to him?
Just good luck, bro. And I appreciate you being mature. I appreciate you being a gentleman. And I appreciate the comment that you said about the podcast and the whole mental health thing at the beginning. Listen, every time I've boxed, I've had wars with people over social media. We've been childish about it. We've sold tickets. People have pulled out of fights. They've called me names on social media. This guy just wants to turn up for the love of boxing, and I've got to respect that. So it happens Saturday. Whoever wins, whoever has this belt round, by the time they leave Sittingbourne, there's no bad blood there. And good luck, bro. And hopefully both of us come out healthy and breathing and back to our mums and dads and our families. Simple as.
Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it.
And what do you have to say in response, Dan?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to sound boring, but again, massive respect, man. I'm just looking forward to a war. I'm ready to bring my A game. So let's have a war. Let's entertain everyone. Let's have a great show.
Were you surprised that he selected you, that Team Forder selected you with your 5 wins, 4 KOs? Do you think
Yeah, I was. Yeah, for real, yeah, I was. I didn't expect to be offered the fight. So again, thanks for taking me on. Thanks for giving me the chance to do it. I really didn't expect it.
And what's next for you? If you can beat Forder, surely doors are going to open. Will you stay at this level?
We'll see, man. One day at a time.
Yeah.
One day at a time.
Can I say one thing, though?
Absolutely.
It's up to you, innit? But once people come on our shows, when they go walkabouts with the belts, there's never a rematch there. So I want to get someone to screen record this right now before another person before someone goes running out of Sittingbourne. Say like Saturday. I'm not saying it will, because I'm very confident in myself. But if Saturday doesn't go how I want it to be, I want a rematch. Because at the end of the day, this is my belt, and a lot of people come to our shows and then they go running, and then we never see them again. So is that something that you offer before you do a runner like the rest of the people on our shows and then never come back?
Listen,
if you want the rematch, we'll write it up. I'll do the rematch.
Okay.
100%.
Cool.
the rematch clause is official. Listen, I talked about final message, but I realised, Mr. Forder, I cannot leave this conversation without knowing what happened to the previous opponent that you had, because we can't miss out talking about this brother. You know what I mean? So, what happened to him? What was his name? Why did he pull out?
Do you know what? Like this guy, Sparky Carey. He's been calling me out for a very long time. Made some very bad life choices to the point of maybe not being allowed to have much freedom as he does now. Came out of them life choices, still wanting to fight me, and then made bad life choices again, and no longer has that freedom again. So that's why the fight's not happening.
Yeah. Was he? Pull me up if I'm wrong. Was he out on the sauce and not training correctly?
No, I think just not behaving properly in the
Right.
terms of Mr. 999. That's all I'm saying. But yeah,
Okay.
at the end of the day, like I'm happy that didn't happen because that fight would have lasted 2 rounds, and I'm pretty sure Dan's going to be 100 times better than what he would have been. I weren't excited for that fight. I had no motivation for it at all. So I'm glad that someone like Dan's has replaced him and took his place. To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I guarantee everyone's going to get their money's worth. Well, it'll be a fun fight. It'll be a great fight.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm going to post up the ticket link after this. Make sure if you are anywhere near or not even near, I'm going to be driving a bit of a distance. I will be there, hopefully ringside. But yeah, I'll post up the ticket links. Come and join me. Come and join the Gunman. Come and watch this fight. You know, and it's all going to a good cause. What's the cause it's going to? It's going to refurbishing your gym, is that right?
Well, I've said to my boxing coach and his dad already, like all my ticket sales are going to go straight to the club because of everything they've done for me over the last 7 years. I'm not sure what the other boys are doing about their ticket money, but that's where mine's going at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll try and grab a ticket link of you. Come and join us. I'm going to be there. The fight will be a cracking fight. Come and join me. Come and join the guys. Come and support the club. Thank you very much for both joining the live. Anyone who's in here, make sure you're following these fighters that are putting their lives on the line for our entertainment, and follow the Gunman because there's going to be more face-offs and interviews coming up. Thank you so much, guys. Have a cracking evening. I shall see you on Saturday.
Can I ask one more question?
Absolutely.
This guy, yeah, KD Alexis 98. Have you ever put a pair of boxing gloves on in your life, mate? Because you talk some waffle. You talk some waffle, mate, big time. And if you haven't put them gloves on before, then mate, stop talking. That's my all right.
You just called him out. Listen, looks like you got a title defense.
I mean, I don't know who he is, but he's just talking like an idiot, and he's probably never stepped foot in a boxing ring. So just a bit of a donut, really.
Yeah,
I mean, a bit of a donut.
he's on you like a tattoo. But listen, I think it is important to respect all fighters, guys. You know, in all seriousness, you know, it's nice heckling people, but and it's fun and all the rest of it, and juices up the face-offs. But you've got to respect these guys. They're going to go to absolute war on Saturday, and it's going to be a fantastic fight. Listen, enjoy your evening, guys. Big up yourselves, and I'll see you Saturday, yeah?
Go on,
See you
man.
later, man.
Pleasure.
Take it easy, boys.